No.
Who's going to explain that to them? Can you explain that to Victoria? Can you speak for me? Yeah. And so many characters. You know, somebody's married, somebody has 5 children with this person, that person, uncle, the aunts, like life. Okay, that's being portrayed. So, it's like huge soap operas to me. These are epics. So you actually find through the storylines pretty much the summary of what you have studied up until now. Now, so all the ideas here are in the epics. And the end part of epic would be this Bhagavad Gita. Upanishadic ideas are summarized in Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita actually is last part of Mahabharata. Okay? So you have epics. Again, I'm writing here, epics. And one epic is Mahabharata. Last part of Mahabharata is the Bhagavad Gita. Why is that writing? One? Yeah. No, that's it. Right to them. Writing. It's writing better this time. Or I'm getting better. I don't know which one it is. But anyway, so Bhagavad Gita is the last part of Mahabharata. And it's actually summarizing the major ideas there in a story form. You know? Make sense? Are you clear or you're lost? Okay, you have the Vedas. These are the texts, Upanishads, epics, Puranas. Puranas are different types of writing. You know, there are lots of storylines about different gods and goddesses. We're getting into that now. Epics, there are 2 epics. And these are the 2 epics. And I'm talking about this epic. Its last portion is very important. That is like the Bible of the Hindus, because that's the sum and substance of the Upanishadic ideas in a story form. Like if I have to talk about karma, rather than giving you the theory, I am going to give you a story, which I did. But this is a different story between two groups of people, 2 dynasties, 2 royal families are fighting things out. So you can see the interactions, you can see the jealousy, you can see the anger, you can see the karma, you can see the reincarnation, you can see all those things being played out by these people. Okay? So I'm going to wipe this out. I don't know how much you got it from here. Whatever you got for now, that's okay. So, okay. In all these, there are several other major concepts are forming. And these all are starting with 4. So, 4 castes. 4 goals. Okay? 4 stages. Okay, I'm not going to write down so much waste of time. It's here in the book. 4 castes. People are divided into caste system, like class system, but it's a twist. It's almost like class. Why? Because people do different things. You could be a plumber, she could be an electrician, she could be an CPA, somebody could be a pharmacist, somebody could be an electrical engineer. Everybody does different things. So caste system shows you who does what. That was the original plan. Group people.
That's called one right? One Sanskrit.
She doesn't understand what you mean.
It's the four. That's caste.
It's like classes or categories of people. Okay? It has a negative connotation nowadays, but original plan was dividing people according to their professions. So you know who does what. And what happens, suppose you are an engineer and you are a great engineer, you fine-tune your profession and you learn something, you develop something, and then you pass that on to, it became hereditary. Before it was not hereditary. It was like given to anybody, any good student. Then later it became father to son to father. This is the way it went. So then it became complicated. So there are 4 caste systems. Again, I'm starting you out because we have 15 minutes. So there are 4 castes would be the first one. Right. Krishna. Hold on. How do I clean that? No.
Brahma, Satriya.
Just one.
Warrior.
Yeah. So you're doing warriors, okay?
Yeah, warrior. And businessman.
Business or merchants.
Yes. The last one is untouchable. Sudra. Sudra.
What is number 4?
Sudras. Sudras means workers. So what happened, the first is the priest who spiritually guide you. They will guide you into different practices, different rituals, and help you to understand life. And that's their job. Okay. Warriors are the people politically to really protect the country, protect its people. Business people are getting the economy going, okay? Buying and selling. Sudras are the workers, building bridges, building houses, the construction crew. Sudras actually are different. No, the untouchables.
Dalit.
They are different. There are other words for it. I'm not going to confuse you. You can get that. I'm giving you the English version of it for now. Like, for example, I'm just going to cross the Sudras out. Just put workers, okay? Manual laborers. That's what they are. Untouchables developed a group. People, it's like hospice people, or people who would do things that other people would not do. Think about it. If there is a chemical warfare, there would be a group of workers. They would be covering their whole body in different suits and do this work that you and I wouldn't be able to do it. But in the process of doing things or helping the community with situations which are untouched by everybody, they themselves untouchables. So if my job is to help people who have some kind of a disease that's contagious, I become contagious because I'm helping to do that. I became inflicted with that. So this is the way they later in life, later in centuries, they became untouched by people, and they had to be living outside the community. Okay, these are your forecasts, and they are initially the plan was good to help people recognize who does what, but in the process it became hereditary. That was going from the family to family. Within the family, they became more powerful. Who became the most powerful? Priests. Okay, and they became very corrupted. And at the time Buddha was born, they were highly corrupt.
Yeah.
Because they are controlling people.
Yeah.
Okay? All right. 4 goals. What are the 4 goals? Didn't you have the reading assignment? Yeah.
The yogas. Yoga.
Okay. Last one, the original one, is the moksha or liberation.
Moksha. Moksha.
That's the last one. What are the other one? Dharma. Artha.
Artha. Dharma. Karma. Arsha.
There are many translations. Dharma means to maintain a moral life. Okay? We all have 4 goals in life, pretty much. You may have abandoned some of them and joined the monastery or the convent, but usually people have 4 goals. They want to have a moral personality or moral life, maintain the order of the society. We all want to do that. We all want material success. Name, not just money, name, fame, prestige, honor, artha. Kama means sense pleasure. In general sense, it means any kind of sense pleasure. I like chocolate. That's my, one kind of pleasure. Maybe somebody likes coffee or somebody likes to watch the sunset. But it extensively, it also means sex. So it could be sexual pleasure or any other pleasure. Okay, you touch a silk. It's so beautiful and so comfortable. You're looking at a beautiful painting. That's your visual pleasure. So you have tactile pleasure. You're listening to music, auditory pleasure. Okay, so you have all kinds of pleasures. Moksha is the last one. You can have this. Hinduism is not saying you shouldn't have it because you have it already. You're asking for it. You're not born like you don't want anything. You have that. So you're allowed to fulfill within the boundaries of the society. But remember, the ultimate goal is this, because you will be ultimately dissatisfied in all levels. But until such time, what are you going to do? You are going to enjoy it. Okay? I enjoy the Chinese apples. I'm not enjoying the green tea that much, but I'm drinking it. But, that's what it is. So, You have 4 stages of human life. You have the childhood, you have the adulthood, then you become old, then you become a sannyasin, meaning you become a monastic. So first you're born, you're young, you're learning. What do you do when you're young? You're experiencing, you're learning, you're being educated, you're being trained. Then when you get older, you get married, have a family life, you have a social life, you create an order. And then eventually when you get old and retired, you start to focus more on spiritual life. And ultimately, that's not even enough. You leave everything, go into the wilderness. That was the old ways of doing things. You just literally left society. And even if you're married, husband would go in one direction, wife would go into another direction, not necessarily together. So last part of your life, you are really alone. You came alone, you're going to live alone, you're going to pursue that goal. Everybody's clear? So you have, take a look at your pages. You have caste system, stages of life, goals of life. We did not do we did goals. Dharma, Artha, Kamya. But you have, now the question would be, how do you attain that goal? 4 different ways. You can mix and match or pick one.
Yoga.
What? One could be just by following a devotional practices, Here first is knowledge. Reading, learning, being taught. You learn to discriminate between what's real, what's not real, what's good, what's bad. So knowledge would make you free. It is a difficult path, very dry. Okay? So the second path would be your karma yoga. Karma in this case is not the karma you're accumulating. Karma means what you do with your body, positive things. Maybe you will do all kinds of humanitarian work, good work. That's your karma. And then you have bhakti, which is devotion. You can pick a god or a goddess or a symbol and be totally devoted to it. And the last one is your yoga. Yoga means union. And how do you do that? You as an individual soul, Atman, you realize you are actually Brahman. There is no other separate God. You are the God. You are it. And that you understand and do through 2 types of practices. One by physical exercises, what Western people do, yoga exercises. And why do you do all these exercises? To keep your body limber so you can meditate longer. Not to be beautiful. That's the side effects. If you do yoga for a long time, and your body becomes limber and younger. And I'll give you a storyline on that, real story. And so that's your hatha yoga. Hatha means hands. So you do physical exercises to make your body stronger and also limber. The other one is the yoga that you practice sitting down. And there are many, many different kinds. And you have to learn under your teacher to do that. Okay? Now, I will tell you one thing about the Western Americans or Europeans. They don't get that the whole yoga thing is not just to strengthen your body. That's not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to meditate. And you can't do that if your body is not strong enough to sit for that long periods of time, right? So those exercises would make you limber, disease-free, and your longevity would be highlighted here. Let me give you an example. Paramahansa Yogananda, you can go online. He came here probably early 19 something. I forget which year he came, or late 18. And he was in Boston, and then he came in, I think here. He went several places. In anyway, when he passed away, 1940s, it was in LA Times that after he died, 15 days maybe later, they opened the casket that the body was still fresh and new. How is it 15 days, the dead body remains fresh? Because he used to do, steady yoga practices that keeps your body that strong and youthful. I saw in my own father, he was 100 years old, and if he wear his dentures, he lost his teeth because he's 100. He could be, oftentimes, even when he was in his 80s, we'll go on the street or go somewhere. People often said, that he's my brother. And that used to make me mad. What do you mean by he's my brother? But he looked young. And when he died, he hardly had gray hairs and his skin was smooth. And body was silky smooth. So his practice, and he didn't go and pump iron or anything. But whatever he did, his body was strong and he was still sitting straight. Back straight. We have trouble now sitting more than half an hour, and he's 100 years old, and he was sitting long periods of time back straight, not like this, no. And so Paramahansa Yogananda, they found his body fragrant like flower and totally intact. And it was in LA Times. So it gives you that. And plus, mentally, you become more powerful in different ways. But you are not to use those powers, because those would sidetrack you. You go into ego trip. You can see things, you can hear things, you know things, you can profile things. And those powers are not to be demonstrated in public, because your ego is going to get bigger. And ego is the worst enemy for moksha, nirvana, liberation, whatever you want to call it. That whole this I has to be eliminated. What is I? You are just a fraction of things. You're one dust particle in the universe. What are you? Nothing and something. It's still a dust particle. So this is where we end. And in a sense, what I'm asking you, I'm going to start the devotional part in lecturing, but you are going to finish reading up to page 91. And actually, I'm going to ask you to finish reading up to page 100. Reading assignment. And I am going to give you a quiz in the class. I'm not going to push for Sanskrit words all the way, but some of them you can give me in translations. But I just will need to see how much you can remember. Some of these things you have to remember. Okay? It's like you're taking a chemistry class and you can't remember the word oxygen. How is it going to be? If you're taking a subject, you have to remember some key words. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. So just do as much as you can. So what's the page number?
100.
Up to 100 from beginning. Read again. This is a master's program. It's not kindergarten.
Yes.
So it's not 2 pages, 3 pages, 4 pages. You are going to be reading from beginning of this chapter to 100 pages. And that would be how many pages?
100.
No, but starting point would be what? Page 73. Not much. like 70, 20, what, 25 pages? That's nothing for a master's program, for master's students. I already lectured, you already read, now finish it. When I come back, I will, and so that for your quiz, okay? But after that, on page 93 to, actually, I'm going to ask you, yeah, it's 800. I'm going to lecture from 93. 7 pages I would lecture, we will be done with Hinduism. Now, if you want, I can divide the work into two quizzes. So how about we divide so you don't get overwhelmed? So rather than having, okay, so from 73, page 73 to, I said 100, right? Not 100. We didn't finish 100. So I barely finished up to 89. So 73 to 89 would be how many pages? 16 pages? So at least 10 pages should be enough, really. Yeah, you should. So your quiz is going to be from where to where?
From 73 to 89.
89?
Yeah, that's what they say, no?
No, I'm going to cut it down. That's what I'm saying, Okay. My lecture is going to be next time. '92 to 100 lecture next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Reading assignment. Okay, let me clear this board. And then I'm just going to. Okay. Reading assignment. What? Okay. Reading assignment would be what? Up to page 100. Quiz. It's going to do quiz. Would be half of okay. 89 up to 89. So we are looking at 73 to 89, half it. So 73 to 89, 16 pages. So I'm going to do 8 pages.
73.
Yeah, 73 to
89.
I'm not going to torture you as much. I should, maybe. Okay, why not? Try it.
Try
it. If you can't, you can't. Then we'll see.
We go fast.
That's okay?
Yes.
All right. I guess I'm sorry. I said we would leave 8:45 and it's 8:55. Okay. Okay. We're gone.
Thank you, Pastor.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Just getting to the one for doing.
Do you want that? As long as you return the book by Saturday night. Yeah. Saturday. I may not be there. Leave the book on the kitchen counter in that house, Sanford House, okay? Because I will be needing it for syllabus on Sunday.